Hi guys! So a while back I had posted a question answer on Instagram asking about what questions you have about the modeling industry and any questions about modeling, and you've all written me some really good answers. So I'm here today to answer your questions. So let's start with question number one. Somebody's asking how to be a perfect model. There's no perfect model, because the thing that makes a model amazing is the fact that they're unique. So if you look at, for instance, Naomi Campbell, what makes her unique? She has a very strong face, she's a beautiful color, and her ramp walk is amazing, or just look at, certain models. And the thing that makes them perfect is the fact that they're so unique. So again, what is perfection? Come on. If you look at some of these Vogue magazines and these top, photo shoots and stuff, you're gonna see some amazing and strange features, like extreme big eyes or extreme curly hair or, extreme big lips. You see some models with extreme features. That amazing different feature is what has made them so famous, and some people may think it's an imperfection, but that is what has made them perfect, and that is what has made them unforgettable. So there's no such thing as a perfect model. Different features or something interesting, something new, something you don't see every day, that works in this industry. Somebody's asking for catwalk. I'm gonna do that in a different video. And somebody's asking how to find an agency. So get on Google right now and just type the top 10 agencies in my city. Okay? Now go with the top 5, and that would be the best agencies in your city. Okay? I want you to be very careful on choosing agencies. Please research them, research what brands they've done, research what models are in their agency, how much work they're getting. If you know a model from that agency, try to ask them how is the agency, because everyone can make a great website, but what are they like in real life is completely different. And I'm saying this from experience. Like, I was with an agency who was like, oh, we're from abroad, we're from US, and we're so big and we're so amazing, and join us. And I joined them, and they were nothing what they were saying, and they didn't have work. So agencies can lie. So please research the top 5 and go with the very top agencies. Research them, talk to your friends, talk to the models who are there. Be very careful before signing anything, guys. If once you sign something with an agency and then you decide, oh, I don't want to be with them, they can actually turn around and fine you, and their fines go into lakhs or into crores. So you guys, please be careful with signing. Try to get a lawyer from your family to have a look at any documents that are being given to you, and just counsel with people. If you're new to what you're doing, just counsel with people who actually know. That's how you're going to be safe in this industry. Okay? Because honestly, it's a great place to be, but there are people who hang around and they're just waiting for people who are so innocent. So just do your research and be careful. That's it. Someone is asking at what age to start. I would love to have started when I was 16, because then that will give you many years to get good, to work on yourself and all that. One disadvantage of starting so young is that you are very innocent and you can be fooled sometimes. But advantages of being young is that you have a lot of time, and you do look different at every stage of your life. So when you're younger, you may have more cheeks. When you're in your 20s, you might have a chiseled cheekbones like me. So you do want to work as much as you can. So I wish I started when I was 16. But I just want to let you know, some agencies, some fashion shows and stuff, they only allow 18 and over. So I know that Lakme Fashion is 18 and up. Victoria's Secret is 18 and up. And so yes, you do need to just be aware that 18 is the time for some big shows and stuff. But you can definitely start at 16. You can start acting much younger. So it really depends on you. Somebody is asking, any tips for beginners? Okay, so I think I need to tell you guys my story. I'm not sure if I'll do it today or another day, but let me see. Tips for beginners. Okay, that's it. I'm telling you my story. So when I started in the fashion industry, I was really young, really innocent. I'd never been out of home, and I started with my mom. So she went with me to my first audition, My dad came with me to my first TV commercial, and it was funny because we shot all day long. And then when the shoot wasn't over, Dad was like, let's go home, I'm hungry. And I'm like, Dad, we need to finish this commercial, you know, I won't get paid. So yeah, I started young. I started, you know, with people who, you know, like it was a safe environment. And then like I decided that, you know, my future career was in Mumbai. So I was 20 at the time. I shifted to Mumbai on my own, alone. I stayed with relatives. I was working a part-time job. At the same time, I researched my agencies on Google, and you know, I made my portfolio, got it made with some friends. Then I would, you know, send emails and make calls to all these agencies very politely. I'd be like, hi, my name's Anjali Schmuck, I'm Indian German, and I'm here in Mumbai for shoots. I'd like to set up a meeting with you. So basically, finally, after a long time, I met an agency, and that is when I started getting work. So tips for beginners, I wish I wasn't so innocent at the beginning, because a few people, you know, they're like one agency, I signed a contract with them without reading it, and then they turned out to be cheats. And they were like just harassing me all the time, like just, you know, like sending me mails and this, that, saying, oh, you can't go for that casting, you can't go for that. And then, you know, they were just annoying. So I wish I had read the contract before signing. I'm happy that I went with my parents in the beginning because it was safe. I came to know what people to trust and what people not to trust. And I'm going to make a whole different video on that because it's quite important. In the very beginning of my career, I faced a lot of rejection because, you know, I just didn't know how to style myself. I was very young. So, you know, I didn't know how to do proper makeup. I do too much makeup. I also had acne. You know, I didn't know how to do my hair. So I did face quite a bit of rejection, and it hurt, but I didn't give up. And that's something you shouldn't do. You shouldn't give up. Just keep working on yourself. And another thing that I wish I knew when I was a lot younger is that modeling is not going to give you tons of money, especially just when you're starting. It's not going to give you tons of money. So I did have to work a side job and keep modeling as a hobby for a long, long time. And that worked. If I was just doing modeling and trying to pay my bills, it would not work. So yes, in the beginning, it's not going to make you much money, and you need to be aware of that. Unless you join a very big agency and they start paying you well, then it can, yes. But if you're just starting on your own like I did, you don't have many contacts, don't expect there to be a lot of income. Somebody is asking, is registering with an agency important and how to go about it? Yes, it is, because most of the, you know, job requirements come to agencies, and it is agencies who give you work. So if you are walking around on your own and giving auditions, it's very rare that you're going to get auditions, that you're going to get roles. So basically, there's two terms that we use. One is a freelancer. Now, a freelancer is somebody who works in the fashion industry without an agency. Then if you're signed with an agency, that's different. Then the agency will give you work. So if you're working as a freelancer, and I did for 1 year, I gave a lot of auditions, but I was never really got any, you know, work from that, because you do need an agency. Like, there is a lot of things agencies know that we don't know. There's a lot of, you know, discussions about budgets and stuff like that, which agencies do a lot better than a lot of models who are just starting out. So yes, agencies are important. You know, it's just that if you get an agency, you're going to get more work. It's as simple as that. That's the simplest I can put it. If you're a beginner in the fashion industry, agency equals work. Now, if you're experienced like me and you have a lot of contacts by now, I am not signed with an agency now because I have enough contacts from over the years and they know me, so we're able to work together and we understand each other. And I work with 2 or 3 agencies non-exclusively. Like, I have not signed with them, but they call me for work. Okay, so that is with experience. Yes, I don't need an agency. But if you're not so experienced, you don't have contacts, the easiest way to get work is to sign with a good agency. I'm stressing good because if you sign with a bad agency, again, you won't get work. So guys, don't do some random thing without planning it and then come to me and blame me and be like, oh, you told us to do this, so it didn't work. I'm giving you my story, my experience. Now it's your job to go out and be smart. Okay? So I'm not getting blamed for any of your actions. I'm just giving you my experience. And now the rest is up to you. Okay, somebody is asking, do looks matter in modeling? So yes, they do matter. But if you remember what I said before, some different interesting features again are very, very good. So for instance, I know some models with like really bushy afro hair, and they're in a lot of TV commercials and stuff. But sadly, if you have like a very, very outstanding feature, sometimes it doesn't work. Like if I had afro hair, I may not get, like ethnic wear shoots and, stuff like that. So a big feature has advantages and it has disadvantages. So yes, looks matter. Back to your question, of course. Why do looks matter? Let's go back to this topic. Because when a client puts their outfit on you, or if you're modeling for a certain brand, like, Boat speakers, or, for Book My Show, or for something like that, what sells a product? You tell me what sells a product. It is when the model looks happy with the product. They look good with the product. So it's all about the way we think. If we see somebody that's pretty with that product and they're happy with it and it looks great on them, there's going to be more buys. That product is going to sell more. So that's all clients are after, is how good do you look on camera? How good do you look with that product? And that is what is going to sell their product. So of course you have to look good. Yes, that's it. So basically, yes, you have to look good. But I do want to mention that for ramp modeling, you can have very different features and you're going to be a great ramp model. It comes back to your personality, it comes to your attitude, it comes to the way you've maintained yourself, how your body looks, if you're fit or not fit. That will make you a good model. So forget about the people who judge your appearance and your looks. Work on being the best version of yourself, and you never know what opportunities you'll have. Okay? So one thing I do want to mention about looks, and this I'm going to come straight to India, is very sadly, as we all know, like the Black Lives Matter thing happened in the US, and now here we're having a lot of talks about this Fair and Lovely brand, how everything needs to be fair and lovely. If you've noticed on the billboards, you don't see any dusky or dark models, you just see fair, fair, fair everywhere. And in my years in the industry, when I get called for an audition, you get this kind of message on WhatsApp or on email, and they will be like, this is the brief. We need a fair, rich-looking, tall model. So you see fair, rich-looking all the time, all the time. I've hardly ever seen dusky, dark. We need a dusky, dark model. I've seen it 2 or 3 times. And out of the hundreds of messages I've got, they're all fair, rich-looking, this, that. So it's very sad, especially because, in India, most of the population is dusky and, dark. And it's beautiful. If you look at New York Fashion Week or, any of those big international fashion weeks, you see people from Nigeria walking the ramp, people from Sudan walking the ramp, and they're so dark, but they're so beautiful. And that's the thing that we need to change in the Indian fashion industry, according to me, is that dusky and dark people do not get work, or they get very, very less work. Unless you sign with a good agency, like in Mumbai we have Inega, we have Anima. These are agencies that understand the value of having dark skin. Because when you send a dark-skinned model to New York, or you send them to London, or you send them to Paris, they will get a lot of work. Why? Because New York, London, and Paris don't have much of dark-skinned models. So I want you to understand this, guys, that in India, sadly, we have a mindset that we don't want dark skin. In ads, I hope it will change and I pray it will change. But if you have dark skin, try going to New York, Paris, London, Berlin. All these places love dark skin. And you see the most amazing dark-skinned models walking the ramp, and they're so beautiful. And those countries know how to value skin color. Whereas in India, we're still reaching that point. So sadly, I'm going to tell you that in India, they want fair-skinned models till now. I hope it changes after Black Lives Matter, I'm not sure. So somebody has asked, what is the best part of being a model and what is the worst part of being a model? Now, I'm doing what I really, really love to do. So literally, I thought of your question. I cannot think of a worst part. I just love my job. And that's for me, maybe some people who are chefs love cooking, or, some people who are musicians love singing, and that's the same for me. Like, I love what I do. So of course there's flaws in any field, in any office there's going to be some flaws, in any company there's going to be some flaws. But okay, I can tell you what I love most about this industry. Definitely it would be the amount of traveling. I traveled a lot. I even did international fashion shows. I got to go to Africa last year for the first time in my life. It was so amazing. And you just meet people from all over the world. So I could be in Mumbai and modeling, yet I'm meeting people from Russia, US, Britain, Brazil. We're all making friends, we're all talking, we're all, traveling together. So it's a wonderful thing. To me, it seems similar to being an air hostess, because you know how they're like traveling all the time with their suitcase. So I was literally traveling like 4 times a month, like to different states or to different countries, doing fashion shows, doing photo shoots, meeting amazing people. So that's what I love about this job, is the kind of people you get to meet. That's just amazing. That's it. I can't complain. I'm never going to complain about this. Somebody's asking, what is the biggest challenge about modeling? I can tell you a few, like small challenges. So for instance, in India, we have certain months where there is less work, like maybe during the end of the financial year, which is in March, there will be less modeling, or during festivals, like Visurgin and stuff, there will be less modeling because everyone has gone home and they're, spending time with family and stuff. So there are times when work drops, and you just have to be aware that in those months work is going to drop and you have to be saving. So it's kind of funny, everyone thinks that modeling has so much income and all that, but no, you still have to be saving and stuff, like it's a job where you can have a lot of work in 1 month, and in the next month you'll have less work or no work. So you need to be aware that it's not like an office job where I'm going every day and I earn a paycheck at the end of the month, like a paycheck comes into my account. It's not like an office job where you can rely on it, you can sleep well at night, everything's good. No. Modeling, some months you get a lot of work, some months you get little or no work. And you need to be aware that, you literally sometimes don't know where your paycheck's coming from. At the same time, it's a very, very exciting, different lifestyle. I've loved it. And I have managed modeling full time, and I've had a wonderful time. But yes, it works for some people, it doesn't work for some people. Somebody is asking, can you model with tattoos or piercings? Yes, you can. So again, it depends on your look and if it looks great or not. So one thing I've noticed, that ladies with a lot of tattoos, it's not going to work. Guys with a lot of tattoos, it can work. Ladies, if you have like 1 or 2 small tattoos, it's fine. I've seen a few models I've seen walking the ramp. She has like one down her arm and one on her foot and one on her hand, and she's still walking the ramp. But again, as a new model coming into the industry and with all these tattoos, not really gonna work. And I remember doing some auditions, you actually have to fill out a form that says, do you have tattoos? Yes, no. And you have to tick yes or no. So I've just found personally that tattoos don't work so much, and having less tattoos is better, is my experience. But yeah, see, the models I know who have a lot of tattoos, they are supermodels, they're already established. So no matter if she dyes her hair green, she's still gonna get work because she's an established supermodel with contacts. But if you're a new person coming into the industry, you have, a lot of tattoos or a different colored hair or extreme short hair. These are things that don't work in India. And I can say the same about internationally. Internationally, they don't want models to have tattoos. Germany and stuff like that, it's not allowed. Maybe special occasions, very, very rare. But tattoos generally don't work. Piercings are okay because, you can hide that. You can just take out the piercing and it's fine. But if you've pierced your lip or, your nose or maybe something like that, maybe it doesn't work. But that's it. Piercings are more okay, whereas tattoos, it works sometimes, it doesn't. I I met this Brazilian person at work. He had tattoos starting from his neck and ending at his feet, and he had great work because wow, we've never seen anything like that. So he was modeling in West Side and stuff like that. So it really depends on your whole look and stuff. Yeah, that's it. So somebody asked, what are my views on favoritism and does it affect work? Now, for me, I'm a very positive person. I walk in, start talking to everyone, and I'm very polite. I try to be very polite. And, I just try to be good to everyone. And everyone is good back to you. So you don't want to show too much attitude. You don't want to be rude to people, especially the people in charge of where you're working. You want to be a good person. You want to be hardworking. And your clients or your agency should know that if they give you a job, you get the job done. So if you do those things, you're not really going to have a problem. But of course, favoritism is always there in anywhere. Even I used to go to an office before. In the office, there was a few colleagues that were the favorites of my boss, and there was a few that were not. So anywhere you go, there is favoritism. One thing I can say about favoritism in modeling is that, again, sadly, because of this fair is lovely idea that India has had for a long time, international models get a lot of work. And in the agencies I used to work in, the international models would get more work than the Indian models. That's the way it worked back then. I hope it's changing. Not because there's anything wrong with it, but because in India we have our own talent. We have our own beauty, and that's it. But again, if you find out that the look you have isn't working in the country you're in, why don't you try going to a country where your look is more different or more unique? That can work for you. But yes, I have experienced that international models get more work than Indian models a lot of the time. And that's why I've tried to go to an agency with no international models because, yeah, I want to be working all the time. But other than that, they're amazing people. They're very sweet. It's not their problem. It's not their fault that, we've thought fair is lovely. It's not their fault. That's the way they are. But one good thing I have to say about international models, and one reason people love to work with them, is because they're very professional and they should be always on time. Most of them are always on time, very professional, very hardworking. So that is why they are loved, but also for their skin color. So those two things are balanced, but there's one thing we can learn from them, to be professional, hardworking, and all that. Somebody's asking, what qualities should a model have according to me? So according to me, looks and height and all that, it's okay, it's there, it's not there, whatever. But two things that you should always have is, one, you should have an attitude. What I mean by attitude, I don't mean you're rude to people and you're evil and you're just, ooh. I don't mean that. When I say have an attitude, I mean have a certain fire in your eyes, have a certain spring in your step. Have something special to you where, people notice you. Like maybe it's a different smile, or it's the way you act, or maybe it's the way you walk the ramp. I want there to be something special about you. That's what I mean by an attitude, is having confidence. If you've seen my work, if you've seen my ramp walk, what is in my ramp walk? It's like this fire, like I'm coming to get you. If you've seen me ramp walking with that blindfold, I was like literally just walking to the judges and like it looked like I was just gonna pull them out of their chair. That's an attitude. It's like a fire in your step. It's a fire in your eyes. And that is something that if you can figure out how to get that, it's going to work for you, because models need attitude. Now, of course, attitude doesn't always work. Like if I'm wearing a sari and I'm doing a jewelry shoot, I can't be like all attitude, that doesn't work. So then, you need to know how to be graceful and how to be feminine. So basically, get good at what you're doing. Research what you're doing, practice your posing, practice your expressions. All that is going to work for you. So nothing works until you do. Until you put in the hard work, nothing's gonna work. I'm just saying it as plain as it is. Somebody's asking how much I worked on my body. So a lot. And nowadays, I work out at least 4 days a week. So I start my morning. I live on the 5th floor right now. So I jog down the steps after I've woken up, had my water and maybe a piece of fruit before breakfast. I'm gonna jog down the steps, not too fast so I fall, just fast enough. Then I'm gonna take like a fast walk for 10 minutes. Then I'm gonna jog back up the steps, and that's not my workout. In the evening, when all my work is done, then I'm gonna do like a 1 hour workout. So I have this routine every day, but the 1 hour workout I do maybe 4 times a week, but the morning jog and stuff is every day. So if you can see, I'm maintaining myself now. And when did I start maintaining myself? I started working out before I was a model. I started working out 2 years before. So you can imagine the kind of dedication it takes to get your body in shape, to get to a point where people notice you, like it does take a lot of dedication to work out. You can't just start doing workouts and be hard on yourself and expect to look like a supermodel in one month or even 1 year. It's been now 4 years and I've gotten my body to this shape. And even now, I'm not satisfied. I want to be more toned. I want to get that kind of Victoria's Secret look. So I want more of a flat abs and, more tone in my body. So that's what I'm working on. So your fitness journey is exactly that. It's a journey. You're going to start where you are, and it might take you 6 months to get better. It might take you 2 years to attain your goals. But that is the whole thing. Nothing happens overnight, It's not magic, it's actual work. Your muscles have to change, your body has to burn fat. So all I can tell you is start today with your fitness journey. Do simple things like jogging, cycling, skipping with a skipping rope, get workouts from YouTube. Start your journey today, so that tomorrow or 2 years from now or 6 months from now, you'll be closer to your modeling goals than you are today, okay? But yes, I work really hard on my body. My body is my focus because, again, the better you look, the more work you're gonna get. Because the more outfits fit you and look better on you, the more work you get. I love working, so I'm always working on my body to the point where if somebody's serving like a whole box of ice cream, I have to eat like small portion and then stop. Because, why do I want to just toss all the work I've been doing? It's precious time I've put into my fitness. So I'm not gonna eat just anything. So I don't eat like burgers too often. I don't have Coke too often. Stuff like that. I just keep I'm not dieting, but I keep whatever I eat very healthy, very organic, very protein, a lot of fruits, veggies and stuff. That works. You can't have everything. So if you want to be a supermodel, you can't have everything. Why don't you research on Google the kind of food Victoria's Secret models eat? It's sad. They eat like salad and tofu and that's it. And I just feel like, come on, seriously, they don't even eat bread and stuff. So, I eat bread, I eat potatoes, I eat rice. But again, like in what quantities, and how much you're eating, how healthy, how organic, what oils you're using, all that matters. But yeah, I don't do junk food and stuff like that because to me, my fitness and my career is the most important thing in my life. So somebody's asking, can people who are extremely thin be models? Yes, you can. So here's another misconception we have in India, and I'm only saying these things because I've experienced them. Of course, I love India and that's why I'm here. But I've just heard some funny like old wives' tales that I'm like, seriously. So basically, I was skinny when I was young. When I was 13, 11, I was as thin as my brothers, like thin arms, no hips, no boobs, nothing. So I was thin. And even in high school and stuff, I had friends who, were curvy and all the boys liked them and I was thin. And all the boys played soccer with me, we played cricket, and nobody noticed me. And I was like, seriously, I just hated the fact that I was so thin. But it all pans out. So as you get older, you get more curve in your body and stuff like that. So first, I want to tell you guys, there's a really big advantage to being thin, and I'm seeing this now. Because if you're thin when you're young, by the time you're 40, you're going to be perfect. And people who, were busty and had all the curves when they were young, they might be plus size. You never know. So the thinner you are right now, the younger you're gonna look when you're older, honestly. So people would tease me about being thin, but nowadays when I see this fact, I'm like, great, it's great, it was working for me. Secondly, this is the old wives' tale I wanted to tell you about. So yeah, I was basically, whatever, in my 20s and stuff. And my Indian relatives used to tease me, like, oh, you need to put on some weight or nobody's going to marry you. You're too skinny. It's not pretty, you know? And like, yeah, literally that was the line. Like, you need to put on weight on your arms. You're too thin. You're disappearing. Nobody will marry you. Nobody will like you. It's ugly. You're too thin. Please don't listen to any of that. It's not true. You know, if you're thin, you can do exercises to tone your body to make you look great, to make you look even better. And you can eat certain health foods to put on some weight. But there is nothing wrong with being thin. So that's an old wives' tale that being thin is ugly. And that is going out of fashion completely. So if you guys will research Paris Fashion Week, research things like New York Fashion Week and Milan Fashion Week, watch the models walking the ramp. Some of them are bone thin. You can't see anything anywhere. They're thin, thin, thin. And that is what they love internationally. So it is an old wives' tale we have here that is slowly changing, that being thin is ugly. It's not true. Okay? So especially for you guys who want to model in New York, Milan, you know, anywhere, thin is great and it's going to work for you. If you're thin and you're 5'9" or 5'8" feet tall, it's perfect. So please don't think that thin is ugly. It's not. If people are teasing you, just ignore them. It's not true, okay guys? So just be confident with the way you are and work on being the best version of yourself. And that's all I can say. Somebody's asking, do you have to attend modeling courses to be a model? Very good question. When I started modeling, I was completely new to the industry. I knew how to pose because posing is like a gift I have. I'm just good at posing. But ramp walk, I had no idea how to ramp walk. When I tried ramp walking without any experience or training, people laughed and made fun of me, saying, oh, your walk is funny and stuff like that. So yes, there are certain things that you won't know, you know, as a fresher, and it's good to take training. Because basically, yes, you can model without training. You can, and I have. So you can get into an agency, you can model. I've even done ramp walk castings without any ramp walk training, and I got selected. Why? Because I had an attitude, you know, and that again works. But you know, basic things like what kind of footworks are there in ramp modeling, the best agencies to go with, or you know, a good portfolio, or you know, who to trust, who not to trust, all that information you can get through training. So as good a model as I was without training, when I took training in Mumbai and I trained with Cocoberry Academy, the best thing they taught me was ramp walk. Before getting trained, I got less than 50% of the work that I got after being trained. Why? Because once you learn ramp walk, that in itself is a completely different kind of modeling. And after I learned ramp walk, I earned so much more than I did before. I worked so much more than I did before, more than 50%. It would be 70% of my work in the fashion industry has been ramp walk. And that has only happened for me because I got trained. So yes, if you don't know ramp walk, and it's very complicated, so if you're a fresher, I doubt you would know, it's good to get trained because, you know, the more knowledge you have, the more work, the more opportunities and all that you will have, okay guys? So that is what I want to tell you. Yes, you can model without being trained, but once you get trained, your work is going to double, triple. It's amazing the kind of work you can get. But again, I want to mention it depends where you get trained. Because, you know, a lot of these trainers are like, we're so good and just pay us this amount and then you're going to be perfect. And some of them, I really question their methods, you know, because I've just not seen so much good come out of them. But I can vouch for Cocoberry Academy where I got trained because I did not know ramp walk before that. And they also taught me like basic styling, how to style myself for auditions. All that Cocoberry Academy taught me. So before that, again, what I said, my work just increased. So I can vouch for Coco Berry that they're very, very good. But the other guys, I don't know them. So, like, you have to do your research and you have to find out. At the same time, I do want to mention that just because you have trained with Coco Berry does not mean you will be a famous model, or does not mean you will get work from Coco Berry. The kind of opportunities you get, it all depends on you, okay? And it also depends on your look. Again, guys, I said this is a very tough industry. It all relies on the way you look, okay? But I don't want you, if you get a no from any agency, like if any agency tells you no, you don't fit, you're too short, you're not the right height, you don't have the look, I don't want you to give up on yourself, because you are the one who decides when it's time to stop. Like a lot of people told me to give up, and all I did was get a side job and keep modeling, and I just worked on myself, and to a point where now I'm there. So guys, don't give up on yourselves, but yeah, just take this whatever criticism, take it as positive criticism, work on yourself, see what you can do, and that's it. Somebody is asking how to start without contacts. Again, what I said, you need an agency, because if you're just Googling, like who will give me shoots and stuff, you're gonna come across a lot of creeps and a lot of fakes, and they're gonna look very real. But when you arrive at the studio or when you meet them for coffee, you're gonna find out that these people are creeps, they don't have work for you, and they're just being strange. I would tell you to get an agency that is good, because if you're a fresher, you're not going to know who's telling the truth, who's not telling the truth. If you just Google, modeling shoots for me, you're gonna get random strangers who you cannot trust, okay guys? So an agency is the way to get contacts. Somebody's asking, if you're not beautiful, how to look. First of all, that's a funny question. You are beautiful, okay? You're beautiful just as you are. It doesn't matter what anyone told you. Whoever's rejected you, doesn't matter what comments they made. You're beautiful and you're special and you're unique. Nobody's like you. Nobody's ever going to be like you. There is something very special you have, nobody has. And you have a place in society. I think that you have like a destiny to fulfill that nobody else can fulfill. So you have a place, you're special, and you're beautiful. So don't even think that, oh, this is all that there is and that is beauty. That is not beauty, There's so much more to being beautiful than just this, okay, guys? So yes, you're beautiful and that's the end of it. But how to style yourself is the right way to ask. I will put out some videos on styling. There's a lot of things. So one tip I can give you, if you especially in the modeling field, is just type up international models. And like the top 10 international models, see the way they style themselves. Because everyone has different features. For instance, I'm skinny. So how do I dress? I'm gonna wear tight outfits that make me look good. Okay, I'm not gonna wear like loose t-shirts and loose jeans that just make me disappear. I'm not gonna do that. Okay, so there are different ways to style your body type, to style your face, to style your makeup that is gonna make you look really, really good, really interesting, really professional. So this is all in styling. But as for actual beauty, you are beautiful and special and there's a place for you. So just because the fashion industry rejects you or whatever, I don't want you to give up, okay? Or even if your friends or family or whatever reject you for your looks, so what? Who are people to judge how you look? I mean, seriously. The fashion industry, guys, as much as I love it, you meet the most mean people there can be. And they will tell you to your face, I don't like the way you look, I don't like the way you walk, get out. So the fashion industry has some of the meanest people on earth. It can. And you just have to get a thick skin for yourself. You just need thick skin where you just let it come in one year and go out the other year. Like, you really should not care about all these comments. Now, of course, if the person is saying something that's true, you should take this criticism as positive criticism and work on yourself. But you really need tough skin for the fashion industry, and some people don't. If you're very emotional, you need to be careful, because there's a lot of people that will just be mean up to your face and be like, I don't like this, I don't like that, you're shit. They will say the meanest stuff to you, and you need to be aware. And you don't just start crying and stuff like that. I've gotten rejected 1,000 times, guys. And do you see me giving up? No. And like I've gotten corrected and scolded so many times, either for being like 10 minutes late, or somebody didn't like my look, so that I arrived there, I did the audition, and they're like, "You don't fit, we're sorry, thank you." I said thank you and I left. So what? So what? You guys, please don't be emotional. Don't be like easily affected by these things, because this industry is tough. It is mean. That is how it is, okay? It's all a competition. At the same time, I don't want you to be mean to, your coworkers and stuff, because that again is not going to work. The person people want to work with is somebody that's humble, that takes criticism and says, yes, I'll do better, and they're nice to people. If you're gonna have a big attitude and, put others down so you look good, people notice these things. All these things are noticed. Okay, guys, so you really need to have a good attitude wherever you work. Okay, guys, so I've spoken for like an hour today. There's another page of questions which I'm going to save for a second video. Just because I'm not sure if I have space on my camera. I need to offload this and then do another video. So guys, thank you for being there today. I've answered your questions and I hope this has helped you. I know it has. And stay tuned very, very soon for a second video on the same topic of questions and answers in the modeling world. Now guys, if you've liked this video and if it's helped you, please subscribe and like this video on my channel. Subscribe to my channel and share it with your friends. And I'd really love to answer all your questions and take you through my modeling journey. And I wish I had started making these videos 4 years earlier, because I've gone through so many amazing experiences, and I wish I had just filmed it, because it's fun. And it's just a memory for me as well, to see where I've gone and the kind of things I've done. So I'm really, really enjoying making vlogs and making tutorials for you guys. And modeling for me is such a big passion. So I'd love to see all you young girls and guys out there, becoming the best version of yourselves and going for it. If it's your dream, go for it. And I'm happy to tell you my story of how it worked for me, okay? So guys, I hope you love this video. Make sure to subscribe and like, and stay tuned for the second video of questions and answers on modeling coming soon. Bye, love you so much.